so you're coding in Python. You've got the basics down, right? Add, subtract, multiply, divide, all that good stuff. But what if I told you there's this secret set of math tools, like built right into the language? Today, we're opening up that expert toolbox to find 3 operators that are going to seriously upgrade your coding skills, especially for things like games and graphics. Yeah, for real. We're not just learning some boring new syntax today. Nope. We're adding 3 genuine power tools to your Python kit. And these are going to help you solve problems in way more creative ways, especially when you start building cool graphics and interactive programs. All right, first step in our toolkit, let's grab our precision tool, floor division. You know how regular division can get you those messy, super long decimal numbers? Well, floor division is what you grab when you need a clean, whole number every single time. It's perfect for when close enough just doesn't cut it. So here's the deal. The real difference. A single slash slash, that's just your standard everyday division, just like on a calculator. You do 19 divided by 10, you get 1.9. Simple. But the double slash, now that's floor division. It does the math, and then it just chops off everything after the decimal. And I mean, it just lops it right off. It doesn't round up or down, it just truncates. So 19 double slash 10 isn't 2, it's 1. Gone. And this is the perfect example of why that is so incredibly useful. Look at this demo. The code is figuring out the level by taking the mouse's X position and using floor division. See that line? Level.value equals mouse X slash 40. What that's doing is, for every 40 pixels you move the mouse to the right, the level clicks up by 1 whole number. It creates these super clean, distinct zones. Think about it. That's perfect for something like grid-based movement in a video game, right? Okay, pop quiz. Let's do a quick checkpoint here to make sure you're with me. Look at that code again. What do you think would happen to our nice, clean level display if we swapped out that double slash for a regular single slash? What do you think? Yep, you nailed it. Instead of those clean level numbers, you just get this frantic, messy stream of decimals all over the screen. Your mouse is at pixel 205, the level would be 5.125. Move it 1 tiny pixel to 206, now it's 5.15. Yuck. It just totally breaks the whole feel of the program. So here's the big takeaway. You use floor division whenever you need to group continuous values, like mouse coordinates, into separate whole number steps. All right, tool number 1 is down. Let's grab the next one from the toolbox. Now this one is cool. It doesn't care about the answer to the division problem at all. It only cares about what's left over. Say hello to the modulo, or remainder operator. I like to call this one our pattern finder. Okay, so when you see the percent sign, percent in Python, don't think percentages. That's not what it's for. It's the modulo operator. And it asks a really simple question. If I divide this first number by the second one, what's left over at the end? What's the remainder? So for example, 17% 3. Well, 3 goes into 17 5 times, right? That gets you to 15. And what's left over to get to 17? 2. So 17% 3 equals 2. It's all about the leftovers. So why should you care about leftovers? Well, this super simple tool is an absolute genius at spotting patterns. The 2 most common missions you'll send it on: first, checking if a number is even or odd, and second, neatly grabbing the very last digit of any number. Let's tackle that first one right now. Okay, check this out. In this demo, every time you press a key, the counter goes up by 1. Now, look at the code. It checks if counter.value %2 equals 0. Just think about that for a second. Any even number divided by 2 has what remainder? 0. And any odd number divided by 2 has a remainder of 1. It's that simple. This little check is a totally rock-solid way to tell if a number is even or odd. And you can use this for anything that needs to alternate, like taking turns in a 2-player game or cycling through a list of colors. All right, you're doing great. Time for another checkpoint. This one's a little bit of a brain teaser, so get ready. What do you think would happen if we changed that if statement to check if the remainder is equal to 2? So if counter.value %2 equals 2, what would the program do then? Ha, you got it. It's a trick question. That condition could never, ever be true. It's literally impossible. When you divide any whole number by 2, there are only 2 possible remainders: 0 if it's even, or 1 if it's odd. You can't have a remainder of 2. It's like trying to share cookies between 2 people and having 2 left over. That just means you didn't finish dividing them up yet. Okay, 2 tools down, 1 to go. Our third and final tool for the day isn't an operator with a weird symbol. It's actually a function. It's called absolute value, and it's our official distance gauge. It's perfect for when you need to measure how far apart things are, but you don't really care about the direction. The absolute function is just beautifully simple. You give it a number, any number, and it just hands you back the positive version of it. That's it. The absolute value of positive 10 is 10. The absolute value of negative 10 is also 10. All it does is strip away the negative sign. And you can probably already imagine why that's so useful when you're calculating the distance between two things on a screen. Let's see this thing in action. So the code here wants to know if the circle is close to that horizontal line. That line is at the y-coordinate 200, so to find the distance, we just subtract y minus 200. But wait, what happens if the circle is above the line? The y value would be less than 200, so the distance would be negative. And distance can't be negative, right? By wrapping the whole calculation in abs, we get the pure positive distance. So abs of 180 minus 200 is 20, and abs of 220 minus 200 is also 20. This is the absolute core of how simple collision detection works in games. Okay, last checkpoint for the day. Let's really make sure this clicks. Imagine we're coding late at night, we're tired, and we forget the abs function. The code just checks if y minus 200 is less than or equal to 50. What happens to our circle's color-changing behavior now? That's exactly it. The whole logic goes haywire. If the circle is above the line, y minus 200 would always be a negative number. And since any negative number is, well, less than 50, the circle would just stay cyan no matter how far away it got. It would only turn pink when it was way, way below the line. So the key here is that abs absolutely essential for making these kinds of proximity checks work correctly no matter the direction. And just like that, that's a wrap on our little tour of Python's secret math toolkit. Your mission was to learn 3 new, powerful tools, and you totally nailed it. You've now got some awesome new ways to handle numbers and solve problems in your code. So let's do a quick inventory of your upgraded toolkit. First, you've got floor division // our precision cutter for getting those clean, whole numbers. Next, you have the modulo operator, %, the pattern finder for sniffing out remainders and patterns. And finally, you have absolute value, abs function, the distance gauge for measuring pure distance without getting bogged down by negatives. You know, each of these tools is pretty simple on its own, but when you start combining them, that's when you can build some incredibly cool and complex things. From games that need perfect grids, to data visualizations that cycle through colors, to all sorts of interactive art. So the real question is, now that you have these tools, what are you going to build next?